So take us through the process, because what you're describing is something that, as you said, could have just been normal exhaustion for a active theater student, but was more than that.
It was more than that. And it's funny because you do have to, especially with autoimmune diseases, like they're so tricky because you can kind of still go about your day and you don't really know what a normal body is feeling. It becomes very normal. So that's why they're so sneaky, because you kind of just get used to the way you're living. And you don't really know what someone else's bodily experience is. So you think, oh, I guess it's normal that my stomach hurts all day. And then when you start going to doctors, they start asking you like, well, like, how much sleep do you get? And it kind of goes around all these like windy ways of not getting tests done for you. So my first advice is you really do have to push. If you feel something's wrong, start pushing, start asking for tests, because your experience is valid and no one can really advocate for that except for you.
How do you have to live your life in terms of non-medicinal or non-treatment type things? What do you have to do to be chill?
You just have to be switched on 24/7. Like my brain does not get a break anymore. You're constantly wondering, what are my numbers at? And so in terms of exercise, you have to play a really smart game with your numbers, because if you work out, you can't work out on a low. Like that's just gonna drop you and get quite dangerous. And you can't work out when you're too high. Like right now at a 13, you wouldn't wanna do a workout either, because again, it's in a danger zone. So already you have to make sure you're in the good area.
So tell us how you became a content creator and shared your story on social media, and how that is helping with your journey, and also what messages you have for us.
Yeah, so I do want to be an actress. So I remember like 4 years ago when social media started picking up, I was like, I think I should start this, start putting some stuff out on this. I don't know, maybe you get a gig that way, like who knows? And so I slowly started then. And then when the pandemic came around and I couldn't do my acting, I just was like, well, maybe I'll just practice my improv on TikTok. And so TikTok was where I first kind of blew up. And then, by the time it came to my diagnosis, I just decided like, I want to be open about this, because I was so shocked at how little I knew about type 1. I'm like ashamed of how little I knew. And I had friends in university who had type 1, and I was never there for them in the way I would be now, knowing what I know.
What advice could you give our listeners around whatever problems you have? Because I think this is general good advice for all of us, not so much to get your own YouTube channel and be on social media, but to reach out and then find that you're not alone.
Anytime I caught myself getting down in the dumps, I would just say, well, what do you have now? Or what opportunities is this going to bring you now? And just keep pushing for the positives. And I know some people preach toxic positivity, and I'm maybe on that side, but I'd rather hang out on the positive side, because life is short, and I was just taught. I just got a real fast ticket to learn how short life can actually be.
Ironically, many people who don't have the physical problems that you've experienced, but who are struggling with anxiety, with depression, with low self-esteem, with fear of the future, are also asking themselves is it 25? Mm-hmm. Is this what my life's going to be?
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of realizing that life is actually like a video game and you're holding the controller. Like, stop looking at life like it's washing over you. Grab hold of life, and that's just kind of, I got the fast track in that they were like, hey, I'm gonna take your pancreas, and then you're like, whoa, I gotta wake up here. Things can happen, but at the end of the day, I'm still in charge of how things happen.